Shalom. Shalom is real. This is Brother Yawana coming back at y'all with Lord's will, another edifying lesson. First and foremost, as always, before I start, I'd like to give all the praise, honor, and infinite glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, our teachers. Shalom to you, brothers, pushing and teaching this truth across the four winds of this earth. And as always, peace, blessings, and many salutations be to you sincere Akyam wa Akwath, you brothers, along with you few sisters, who are giving all diligence in these last days. Right, through the mercy and grace of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through his only beloved begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, coming back with another updated prophecy type lesson. And yeah, man, I have a couple of articles that I want to touch on. And the first one I have is going to be right here. Right, and this is the People's Voice.tv, which this is a pretty informative website. Of course, with anything, you always have to chew up the meat and spit out the bones. But once again, this is the headline off of this website, and it reads: Klaus Schwab says era of shock events is coming ahead of 2024 election. Right, it says Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum (WEF) just warned an era of shock events is coming ahead of the 2024 U.S. election as the global elite prepare to unleash chaos in society. Now, we understand that chaos, right, is coming, right? And these devils, have a slogan called, order ab chaos, which means order out of chaos. All right, they create the problem, right? The people, there's a reaction from the people, and then the same devils that created the problem come with the solution to, in the eyes of people, save the day, okay, or be seen as the good guy, when really the scriptures say, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, by pursuing to Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter. Okay, so, we understand too, coming into this year was deemed what? The year of polycrisis, meaning many, crisis. Or matter of fact, what does that word crisis mean, just for edification's sake? I think it's like a disaster or calamity, right? It says, this is the word crisis on the simple Google definition search. It says a time of intense difficulty, trouble, or danger, right? Catastrophe, calamity, okay, disaster, setback, right? You get the point, right? And that's what this year was deemed, okay, the year of the polycrisis, by different, globalists, different scientists or journalists, I should say, right? And as this year has been playing out, we've definitely seen a lot of signs take place, more wars, right? More tensions, between America and Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. Okay, that whole, everything going on over there with Russia and Ukraine. Okay, over there in Israel right now. There's a lot going on in the world, man. Okay, different signs in the heavens, chariots, manifesting themselves in broad daylight at nighttime. All right, different volcanoes erupting, more earthquakes. We're living in a time, right, of prophecy, right? And as our beloved, elder apostle Tahar deemed 2024 this year to be the year of the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, right? Because as these different signs are coming to pass and we're seeing more things happen, we understand we're coming closer and closer to the time of great tribulation written within the Holy Scriptures, known as Jacob's trouble. Okay, so let's go back to this article, and it says, in a dystopian article, the WEF warns that citizens heading to the polls in November should be expecting destabilizing events, including a cyber, you see the word, which is intentional, the emergence of a new global extremist group, and fast-tracked climate change disasters, including a sudden sea level rise that will submerge an island nation. It says the globalist elite are desperate for elections in 2024 to go their way as they continue attempting to evade prosecution for crimes against humanity perpetrated in the post, what era. In this context, it is no surprise that WEF is warning us to look for global risks to be further exasperated by unexpected destabilizing shock events. What are the global elite planning? Perhaps the most concerning line in the article is in reference to intentional cybersecurity attacks. Given Klaus Schwab's long-standing interest in unleashing a devastating cyber attack on the world, this warning should not be taken lightly. And I remember there was a video with Klaus Schwab out of his own mouth saying that the whole C-19 crisis would pretty much be considered a small disturbance in comparison to a cyber attack. Okay, which at the end of the day, that's true. Okay, because if you would think about a major hack, or the power grid, and telecommunications being shut down, that stops everything. That stops businesses. That stops life, essentially, man. All right, and we just seen, matter of fact, I think it's gonna mention, referencing the CrowdStrike global cybersecurity outage in July, the WEF said, "Imagine if a bad actor did this on purpose and on an even grander scale." It says briefly, here are 3 shock events to consider that may impact global stability. Now, as you see, this is on the World Economic Forum website. And it says, number 1, it says a new globalist extremist group emerges. With the world distracted with multiple major wars and leadership in decline, this could be an opportunistic time for a new extremist group to make its mark and maybe not face as many consequences. Perhaps it will even leverage I don't know if what that word is right there. It's kind of blocked off. But continuing on, it says a cyber, you see the word, that is intentional. The massive global IT outage in July was not terrorism, but simply a faulty software update from a cybersecurity firm. Yet it cost Fortune 500 companies $5.4 billion in damages and shut down flights, banks, hospitals, retailers, and other services worldwide. So that's what happens when everything goes offline, and essentially the internet is shut down. Okay, it causes major damage and negative ripple effects in society. But see, this is what they want. And this whole, it was just a faulty software update. This could have very well, which I believe personally, was a test run to see, what happens in the event of the internet being shut down, right? And again, this is on their website. It says, imagine if a bad actor did this on purpose and an even grander scale. You see, now making that point, well, imagine if this was done on purpose and on an even grander scale, right? These devils have, the power to be able to shut the internet off on, any time that they choose. But see, really, the Lord, the Lord's in control of all things, right? And obviously that's going to happen here soon, right? Ushering in the famine of the word, right? Where, the preaching of this gospel is not going to be heard anymore because, the internet's going to be taken away. That's a future prophecy, right? So, we know that this is going to happen. It says the WEF also claimed that we are living in an opportunistic time for a global extremist group to emerge and wreak havoc around the world without suffering many consequences. Let me go down. Let me read this last one. It says central bank digital currency, CBDC, and digital ID payment systems are also on the agenda, according to Schwab and the WEF, who warn this will result in the global south moving away from trading in the US dollar, even attempting a new blockchain payment system, okay? Now, nevertheless, with another quote these devils have used is, never let a good crisis go to waste, okay? And now, something else that's, in the mainstream is this whole Fox Cyrus, okay? And, it's said to have started in Africa. Then you had some people, I guess there was a case or two in the UK, right? And now, you have Canada, right? Justin Trudeau, right? Warning his citizens, okay, of a new Cyrus, right? That is to come. And Lord willing, this loads up. Let me see if I can delete some stuff. Just so I can get this up and running. Bear with me. Come on. It's funny too how everything always works smoothly before the lessons start, but as soon as the lessons start, that's when things start to falter. It's just Satan, man. Always trying to get his hand in the way. Let me see if I can go back to it. Here we go. This is again on the peoplesvoice.tv. It says Justin Trudeau tells Canadians to prepare for new Cyrus, far worse than you know what. The Canadian government has issued a warning to its citizens, advising them to prepare for a new you know what. They warn that the hypothetical V might be far worse than you know what and could lead to food and fuel disruptions. Now, the reason why I'm saying you know what is because obviously for some of you who know, right, we can't say certain words or, our lessons will be taken off, right? But for those of you that are new, that's why, for the sake of this channel, remaining active, hey, I'm going to just try to code name or not say certain words to the best that I can. Okay, it says Canada's Center for Occupational Health and Safety rolled out a second edition of their flu and infectious disease outbreaks business continuity plan handbook. The guide provides information for employers on what to prepare for when facing another P. It says the Mail Online reports in the new edition released in June, they focus on a hypothetical C that they warn could trigger further disruption than that C1. It states that based on trends from past PF, there may be a higher average number of illness and deaths in age groups different than what we typically see during annual flu seasons. It says the guide also warns employers must be ready for a scenario like in a disease outbreak or a P, which forces people to stay home. Now, again, they're rolling out these, like it says, it's a what? It's a flu and infectious disease outbreaks business continuity plan handbook. They're rolling out these little handbooks, okay, really as an indirect, I guess you could say, they're indirectly telling you, I guess not really indirect, they're directly telling you, look, another, a V is to come. All right. And these are pretty much the guidelines and how, you employers are supposed to handle, your employees, right? And what you should be expecting and be ready for. I think that was the main point on this article. I didn't want to read too much because, again, there's that C word a lot in here. But if you want to read it, for yourself, you can. It goes back, I think, to like the 3rd or 4th page because this was published on the 18th, right? And today is, I believe, the 20th. So you have to do a little digging. But, nevertheless, you can find this article if you want, okay? Because supposedly this whole Fox virus is supposed to be a lot deadlier than the last one we saw in 2019 to 2022. Okay, which at the end of the day, we knew another one was coming because what did Bill Gates say in the interview, man? He said that, people did, this whole pandemic didn't get people's attention, but another one is coming and that's going to get everybody's attention, right? And even in China, you have people, you have China screening their people that are arriving, right, for the Fox. It says Chinese authorities have started monitoring both people and goods entering the country for Fox, or what is known as Fox. It says China's General Administration of Customs, GAC, said that the new measures will remain in force for at least 6 months, right? You see, there goes that number 6, right? We saw that number heavy during the time of the first demic, okay? 6 feet distance, 6 feet this, 6 feet that, right? It says the announcement came 2 days after the WHO designated a recent surge in infections in Africa as a public health emergency of international concern and called for a jab campaign. People arriving in China from countries and regions where cases of the disease have been confirmed should declare their conditions to customs upon entry if they have symptoms, including fever, headache, rashes, and others, the GAC said. Emphasizing that customs officers will implement medical measures and conduct sampling and testing in accordance with the prescribed procedure. Vehicles, containers, and goods from areas where Fox cases have been spotted should be sanitized, the statement added. Fox can spread through close contact, causing flu-like symptoms, a rash that forms blisters and then crust over, and swollen lymph nodes. According to WHO, the disease is usually mild and only fatal and only in rare cases. Last year, China's National Health Commission labeled Fox a Category B infectious disease along with the you-know-what, and the you-know-what. The move enabled national authorities to take emergency measures, including restricting gatherings, suspending work and school, and sealing off areas in case of an outbreak. Okay, and this is going to come in full effect. When this next demic comes, it's not going to be, it's not going to be light like the first one. Okay, things were optional. You didn't have to do this or have to do that, but some places you did. No, it's going to be a lot more severe. Okay, because once again, we understand that these devils are running out of time, right? So they're moving, with haste, and that's why we saw during the time of the demic, they had a whole operation called Operation Warp Speed, okay, which was pretty much them developing and manufacturing and also distributing, right, a jab, which was the fastest jab that was ever made and distributed to the people. Right, and a lot of these people took it because they implemented fear in the minds of individuals. Oh, you're gonna lose your job. Oh, you're gonna lose your job and get sick and spread that sickness to others. So you need to hurry and come take this jab, right? That we made for you for the betterment of your health and others. But really, the jab was not made for the betterment of the individual that took it, nor for the positive development of others as well. If I said that right, the jab wasn't created to help you. Let's just say that. It wasn't created to help nobody. It was created as, as venom. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because every time I talk about it, I get a strike, which, I want to read this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." And that's our job, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, is to warn you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right, of what's getting ready to take place on the planet Earth, because you have a lot of Israelite groups out there that are not doing that, man. Okay, they're not getting your mind ready to, experience these drastic changes that are about to come to society, man. Okay, because once another demic comes, again, it's going to be a lot more restrictions. It's going to be a lot more severe. Okay, and hey, this is all written in the scriptures, man. It's all part of prophecy, man. That another demic will come. It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee," right? And incredulity means unbelief. Don't let anybody's unbelief, get you to, stop serving the Lord and stop, staying occupied in prophecy and doing what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, everything that we read is true. Everything that we read is happening. Right? It says, "For all the unfaithfulness," Salakia, "for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness," right? Salakia, meaning forgive me, right? It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." That's what the Lord is bringing upon the whole world. And really, he's already doing it right now. Okay, but see, these things are going to ramp up, man, because right now we're in a time of the birth pains, right? All right, matter of fact, let me get that as well. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Oops, let me go down. Oops, too far. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 37. It says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side." Man, the Lord is sending plagues all over the earth, man. Right? And that word plague really goes into calamity. It goes into affliction. It also goes into pestilence, man. Okay, and that's what we're starting to see the Lord, send in the earth, right? By the way of this whole fox. Okay, which again, I'm codenaming that. You should know what I'm talking about based off these articles we read, right? The words right there. Okay, that's the fox that I'm referencing to. See, and let's get another scripture. Okay, this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7, and this is the words of our Lord Yahweh Shai, right? Concerning when his disciples asked him, "What shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?" What are going to be the indicators that your coming is near, right? And at the end of the world is near, and this is one of the signs. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." Now, you notice there's an S at the end of that word pestilence, which that S makes it plural, meaning more than one, right? There's not just going to be one, but there's going to be pestilences, right? And this word pestilence, when you go to the etymology online, it says 13th century, any infectious or contagious disease, fatal, epidemic. Right, I shouldn't have probably said that word, but nevertheless, Lord, they don't take this down. Okay, but that's a pestilence, and any infectious or contagious disease or a fatal, what. All right, and this next, demic is going to definitely be more fatal, right? And we're definitely going to start seeing a lot more people drop. Especially they're talking about rolling out jabs. Once they start doing that, jabs to counterattack, this whole new Cyrus. That's when it's really going to be bad, man. People are really going to start dropping, just like they're still dropping now from the first few jabs that they took, right? Or the different boosters and whatnot, man. Okay, but again, this is all part of prophecy. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49 in the GNT. It says, "I will send disasters upon you. I will make you a widow and send poverty, famine, war, and epidemics to destroy your homes and ruin and bring ruin and death." Which when you read up on this particular account, really concerning them, that wretch, referencing to Moab, right? The Moabites, which are the Chinese, right? Which the Lord is sending plagues over there too, man. But see, at the end of the day, this is what's going to be brought, to America, right? Poverty, famine, right? War, epidemics to destroy your homes and bring ruin and death. So, definitely, man, this is all by design that we're seeing this whole new talk of this whole new Fox Cyrus, man, and why it's so in the news. And they're talking about, it's going to be worse. The WEF talking about shock events are coming, which when you go into this word shock, what does this say? It says a sudden, upsetting, or surprising event or experience, right? Damn, flies all up in my ear. Let me see if I can find, because I had this word held on, oops. I don't want it here. I want to go to the Google definition of it. Slovakia. Let's get that word shock, because there was a definition in there that stood out to me. Let me see if I can find it again. Disturbance. Basically, it went into catching somebody unawares, right? And really, this whole next demic, man, a lot of people are going to be, unaware, because the average person doesn't read these articles, man. And I haven't been watching the mainstream news, so I'm not too sure 100% on how much they're talking about this whole Fox. But at the end of the day, people don't even watch the mainstream news, majority of the time. So, we'll just have to see what happens, concerning this whole Fox. It could definitely blow up in these next couple of months, right? There's a lot going on right now, man. That's why we just got to continue to watch and as well as pray, right? Because, we're in the time of the fall of America, also known as Babylon the Great, right? Just as the ancient Roman Empire fell, we're in the time of the revival of the Roman Empire, America, falling as well, man. Okay, and it's going to fall from the inside out. And we already know the dollar is about to be thrown out the window, and they're going to move to a digital system, which is going to further bring us into prophecy, right, concerning the mark of the beast. But let me end it off here. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them." See, and they really these devils, right, are giving you the illusion of peace and safety, right, by bringing in another president, man, to better this country. No president is going to be able to better this country, man. We're just saying Jeremiah, right, that Babylon, cannot be healed, man. Babylon, America is on its way out. It's circling the drain. There's no, doing any good for this place. Right, this place was really predestined to be destroyed, man. Right, but before this place was, to be destroyed, it was to collapse. Okay, and we're in a time of that collapse before the destruction, right? It says, "Then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all children of the light and children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober." See, don't let us spiritually be sleep out here with our eyes closed, nonchalantly walking through each day, not paying attention to anything. Because when you're like that, then the Lord is going to catch you unawares, man. And when you read Luke, the 21st chapter, it tells us that as a snare shall it come upon them that dwell on the earth. Right? The great collapse that's to come, the shit, when shit hits the fan here soon come, a lot of people are going to be unawares. They're going to be caught, with their pants down, so to speak, man, because they weren't watching, they weren't getting ready, they weren't preparing their minds, they weren't preparing, their spirits. Okay? So don't let us sleep as others do, but let us watch, right? Us are the house of faith. Let us watch and be sober. Sober meaning having a clear mind, man. Okay, not out here bullshitting, partying every day, all day. Just like that girl, Kate, Kesha. What does she say? Don't stop till the clock. The party's on rocket mode or something like that. Hey, call law Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Dang, a big hawk just flew right over the crib, man. Hey, Lord willing, man, the Lord be with us, brothers, man, and you sisters as well. Definitely coming into some interesting times. Again, with this whole, talk of this Fox Cyrus, circling the earth. Again, we just have to, watch and see what the Lord, is getting ready to do, because the Lord's definitely getting ready to do something major, man, and the whole earth is getting ready to feel, okay, the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man, through these different pestilences, plagues, and judgments, right? So let me end it off here in the book of Mark, which we go into these scriptures so much, it's probably, so repetitive. But at the end of the day, watching and praying is a commandment, man, from the Lord Yahweh, from our Lord Yahweh Shai, right? Mark chapter 13 and verse 35. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. And that's what we're supposed to do. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 42, right? Be ready for his coming. And that's all of us, man. That's the mentality we all have to have. And I say it to myself first, right? Being ready for, for these things to pop off. You don't want things to pop off. And here it is. You haven't been reading. You haven't been studying. You haven't been praying enough. You haven't been doing anything you're supposed to do. Now you're going to walk into dark times, with a guilty conscience, which is one of the worst things you can have in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. In the time of these calamities really seeping in the earth. Right, is a guilty conscience, man, because that guilty conscience is gonna weigh so heavy on you that it's gonna pretty much kick your faith, man. Right, and you're gonna be so worried about, fuck, I haven't been doing what I do. But that goes into the parable, right, of the 5 wise virgins, right, and the 5 foolish virgins, man. The 5 wise virgins kept that oil trimmed in their lamps, right? You see, and that oil represents what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, man. You see, but a lot of people, are not taking the time to sit down and get built up in their faith, and get rooted and grounded in the Lord, man. So when these things happen, hey, it's going to be like they built their house upon sand. And I seen a video this morning too, on Instagram. There was a flood somewhere, I think like on the East Coast, or maybe it was California, I'm not sure. But there was a house that was built on this sand, near the beach. And when the water came in, it brought the whole house down, man, and it got washed away. And that's the first thing I saw this morning. I thought about, man, building your house upon a sand, that's what it looks like. Your whole house is going to come crashing down, right? Matthew 24 and 42. Watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Which again, before Yahweh Shai returns, we understand there's certain key prophecies that are to take place, right? And we're coming into the time of the effect of every vision. So again, having that mindset of being ready, right, and continuing to give diligence to make our calling of election sure, right, and self-examination is mandatory at these times, brothers. Okay, because we don't know. The scriptures say, "Thou knowest not." What the tomorrow shall bring forth. Roughly paraphrasing Proverbs, right? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, or even just next week. So again, always stay ready, man. Stay in the scriptures, stay prayed up, and stay close to your brothers, man, who are fighting that same fight of faith. Right alongside with you. Okay, because we're definitely going to need each other in these times to come. But with that, I do hope and pray that this lesson was edifying to you, Akyam wa Akwat. I hope it was informative. As always, before I close off, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Till next time, Lord's will, I say shalom, stay strong, and keep the faith no matter what. Shalom.